Tuesday night or something like that.
Yeah.
No. What are we today?
Today's Monday.
What was it? Thursday night. Sorry, the night of the mic drop. She mentioned to me that she was she mentioned to me that she had gotten like at a stoplight, and at the stoplight she started seeing like flashes like behind her. And then she was just like kind of looking, and then all of a sudden, all these cars started like pulling to the side, and like a bunch of them started like scattering. And then so she realizes there's a truck that's going, and there's another truck behind it, and they're just fucking lighting it up, dude. So she fucking starts losing her mind, and she hits the gas and goes past the red light, and just fucking went home. And then she sees this truck crash, and then these dudes get out of this other truck and just start lighting it up. And then she fucking just jets.
Damn, son.
It was just wild as fuck. It was a bunch of stuff that she was literally like crying, dude. Like she was
I would fucking imagine, bro. That's wild. So and that's like some fucking war zone shit.
Yeah. The next day was when the Laredo Police Department posted that whole like travel advisory.
That was while we were at 4DF. That was going on.
Yeah.
My boy David was like, oh, and I was like, hey.
A lot of my family.
When was the advisory? Okay, then yeah, you're right. It was Friday night.
Yeah, actually. It was Friday night. Yeah,
Friday night. That my mom called me. Because I went to go pick up some. I had just seen her that night. The thing is, my mom is normally not out late. Like her, her and my dad, or they know
they know what's up.
They know we're not gonna be out late. But that night, I had to go and leave her prescription for her meds to get filled at HEB, and it took them forever to get her shit ready. So she had to have the fucking meds, dude. She had to get an antibiotic and stuff, and so she was there until like 8:30, maybe 8:30 or 9, and it was the same night that we went to go pick up the stuff for Elaine. I remember now. So it was the.
It was Friday then.
Yeah, so like all that stuff went down, and like my mom was just like terrified, like panicked, and I felt so bad, dude, like hearing her crying shit. And my dad works for a trucking company, and so like they're telling those guys right now, like, hey, make sure you don't fuck around. Make sure like if somebody tells you to stop, like luckily, well not luckily, because it's still really shitty that it's happening, but like what seems to be happening is like whenever they're gonna use these buses as like blockades and stuff and like burn them up and stuff, at the very least they tell these people like, hey, you don't want to lose your life, get the fuck out of the bus, and everybody just leaves the bus and they let them leave, you know. So it could be a lot worse. There's also apparently what was like one of the warnings that's been given was if you're a man and you're on the streets later than 8 o'clock,
you will get shot.
No, we're gonna give you a rifle and you're gonna fight with us,
or you'll die.
Simple as that, or you're gonna die. Yeah. So, yeah, man, shit's been heavy over there, man. My mom. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
And she told me, she's like, I need to stock up on food and stuff so we can like just stay indoors the next couple of days and just wait for it to blow over.
Do you know what's going on? Like, what the fuck the whole?
Yeah, dude, it's two cartels versus Mexican police. Well, two cartels fighting each other versus Mexican police trying to fucking, control it, which is never going to happen, And then, of course, you always have the whole, like, corruption bullshit or whatever, where some of the stuff is just allowed to go on way longer or whatever. But, yeah, man, I'm at this point where it's like, dude, I gotta get my parents out of there, dude.
100%, bro.
Yeah, but, I mean, we'll see. I got an interview on Wednesday for Laredo Immigrant Alliance, so.
Nice.
Should be interesting. Anyway, are we live?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, cool.
Anyways, hi, everybody. We've been gone, and we are now back. Welcome tonight to Aliens on the Butter.
Aliens on the Butter.
Franny, a.k.a. Francisco Flores, or that's backwards. Francisco Flores, a.k.a. Franny, is sitting in tonight. We're going to be picking up some craziness from the internet. But that was a very dark and bleak opening intro.
Yeah,
Let me just do this.
Aliens on the border.
The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found.
Faster than light, spaceship of the future.
Our direction of the President of the United States, stay in your home.
Is it human or inhuman? Earthly
What on earth?
We're born in that swirling inferno of radioactive dust. There is no word to describe them.
We may be witnesses to a biblical prophecy come true.
Why is it that we usually ignore the fourth dimension?
Is this the human race of the future?
Aliens on the border.
Damn. Episode 118. It came from the internet with Francisco Flores. Everybody, how you guys doing tonight?
I'm Gucci.
We good. We out here.
As always, this is Josh Castillo, your host.
Yeah. And I'm Roger Ram Riras. And that is Francisco Flowers.
This is Aaron Suarez.
Let's just start fucking throwing some shit out.
So what's new, guys? Like before we get into the topic, like what's going on? It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot second. We just came off of a very dope ass Fourth Dimension Fridays. We're getting ready to close out the year with the last one for 2019, Illuminati, celebrity deaths, fake celebrity deaths.
Fuck yeah.
And on the panel for that evening will be us, as always, plus this guy right here.
What's up?
Everybody's favorite flower guy.
And Alex Salazar.
And Alex Salazar. How do you know Alex?
Shit. How do
I don't know Alex.
See, he's you know Mauro Martinez. We've had him on the show. They're best friends. I met him like that, and when we started kicking it, because Kiana used to live. They used to be roommates. So I would end up kicking it there all the time, and he'd like sit me down through a lot of like really fucking crazy videos sometimes. Red pill as fuck, dude. Like super. So
she had like the fucking reflective ass shades on and shit.
Yeah. Sit down and like fucking just get ready. Yeah, man.
What was your experience like being a member of the audience that evening?
It was dope, man. It was woke as fuck, dude. I learned a lot of shit.
Turn the mic towards you.
It just keeps moving on its own, so I'm gonna have to keep holding it, which is kind of annoying, but whatever.
You can probably like pull on the cable a bit to give it some slack.
That's cool. I'll just keep my hand here.
Just do this. I usually do that.
Yeah, it's
all the time.
Easier.
Yeah,
I think.
No, but yeah, man, it was a pretty dope night, dude.
Yeah, it was wild as fuck.
Those of y'all not like haven't made it out to a Fourth Dimension Friday yet, you gotta.
Yeah, because you can only be there for the experience. It's not.
They literally had people tell me they're like this is like one of my favorite places to come or whatever, for favorite events to come to because it's so different, which is cool shit to hear. So yeah, like what's our next theme? Yeah, the Illuminati, which is the faking death and celebrity deaths and stuff like that.
Fake celebrity deaths.
So we'll be talking that.
Sprinkling in some 27 Club.
So Franny, he's got a list of it came from the internet. And this list is a list of topics that I'll have him intro it, but I know that this is kind of stemming from like a couple of conversations that we've had before where we just find the whole topic of the dark web and spooky internet stories really fascinating. And I'm not going to ask what he uses it for, but Franny has a dark web browser.
I have a Tor browser, yeah.
Yeah, Tor browser, which is, for those of you guys who don't know what the dark web is, it's a series of like unindexed websites and content that
they cannot be found through traditional Google.
You can't
searches.
You can't Google and be like a
dark web
get me there. So dark web. We've had this we've had a couple of like conversations about it before. I don't think ever on the podcast actually.
I don't think so.
Maybe like once or twice, but nothing like very much in depth at all.
So Franny is a perfect intro into talking about these kind of things. So just fucking.
Before we get into like the actual topics, how does one go about getting into the dark web? I mean, obviously the first step is the onion router, but
it was a lot easier than I thought it would. I really did just get a Tor browser, installed it. Luckily, the one that I got had a VPN already included with it. VPN is not sure how to explain
virtual private network.
You simulate your own server, so you don't have to use like public gateways. So your internet provider
is masked.
It's masked basically.
Exactly.
And actually, the purpose of a Tor browser, from what I know, I don't know if this is different.
Yeah,
you could get to a dark web website on a traditional browser, but it's not recommended that you do that because you're so open and prone to attacks,
yeah,
and tracing and getting your personal information leaked out there. And on top of that, FBI will come down on you hard because of the amount of illicit stuff on there. Let's say that. So
exactly. So it is best and safest to do it with an Onion browser, a Tor browser. So I do have Tor. It works just like the Surface Web. To get to the actual, dark and or deep web, the terms are really interchangeable.
Right.
I had to find a website known as the Dark Web Index, and that took me a while. So once you find it, it's literally just a white background and just a list of links, and they all lead to different sites, and they're categorized. And I just every once in a while I get on there and I just click on one, see where it leads, and it's a little crazy.
Obvious question. You ever come up across something that you've seen that you didn't want to see?
Not in reference to what I think you're referencing, but what I did find, it's funny because you mentioned this on one of the, you mentioned this at the past 4DF, but I did stumble upon a website that was hosting live feeds of security cameras, just throughout the world. So that one was really unsettling. I didn't click on any specific camera, but just seeing all of them just kind of there kind of fuck with me. And I was just like, oh, I'm at the gates of something I shouldn't be here. And I just
like, fuck.
Yeah, just off real quick.
Even in the regular web.
A lot of these topics I'm talking about are mostly surface web stuff, but it's just, little mysteries. But yeah, there's some dark web stuff in there too. But go ahead.
Yeah, what I was gonna say was there's a fucking on the chans. There's always been people would post those links to the webcam things, but it started off as mostly just unsecured security cameras from stores in random cities like New York.
We talked about this at 4DF. So it was basically so when you set up an internet or a Wi-Fi home security camera, you can set it up as soon as you set it up, it's got the default settings or whatever. You can access it through your phone, so you can monitor your home via that security camera. The issue with that is that the default stuff, they all go through a server. When they go through a server, if you trace one down to a server, that server has hosted all these different cameras that are just owned by different people, because they're not going to take the time to set up a private network for each one of these cameras. So in doing that, other people can go and open up this,
the fucking feed,
the feed, and they can just spy on things.
This fucking camera right here.
This fucking maybe, dude.
I mean,
just fucking
it's never really on unless
page,
we're here.
Yeah.
Fucking ISIS is watching us.
Right.
I like these guys. I like what they say.
We get bad signal in cave.
So it came from the internet. Let's start with it, dude.
All right,
Hit
cool,
me with some
cool.
shit.
So the idea for it came from the internet. It's just, I've been collecting, random internet stories, internet mysteries that I've been super into. Some of them have been solved, some of them have not, but I think they're worth sharing. So hopefully it is a continuing series, or it becomes a standalone podcast. But in the meantime, I brought up 3 examples that I'm kind of into that I think are worth talking about. What
I know, just the way that you said it was just kind of hopefully you're doing it if it's a fucking an interview, a presentation.
This is the pitch.
This is the pitch. None of this. All right, you know what? I'll leave.
Real quick before we jump into it. Yeah. So I started recording earlier when I was testing all the mics. I just realized I had been recording since an hour before you guys got here.
Awesome.
That.
I mean, you guys, that's crazy to see what kind of shit you catch on there.
Yeah.
What if you catch some crazy EVP shit, man?
Well, I mean, there's music playing most of the time, so
yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Anyways,
this is me setting my foot into the Shark Tank. So let's get into it.
We'll leave your fate on the decision of the audience.
Of the audience.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first story I'm bringing up, I kind of wanted to tailor this one to a little bit into stuff that Josh is into. Kind of. So this is one of
Pandering. Nice.
Yeah, this is one of the weirdest stories that I came across, and it's it's so frustrating because there's such little information out there to truly crack this, but it is called the Children's Immortality Project. Have y'all heard of
No,
this?
what is this?
Okay, so there's a man who may or may not be named Robert Ray Hedges. I've Googled this fucker. The only thing that comes up are the websites that he himself has created. He has 2 YouTube channels, but they offer no leads. So this guy, Robert Ray Hedges, created a so-called movement, somewhat of a cult, that he calls the Children's Immortality Project. So all of these websites have similar information and similar statements, I guess, where they're all basically saying that when a child is born, their minds are so blank and like there's nothing there to the point that they theoretically should not be able to abide by like laws of like logic or physics, like because they don't know them. So they don't know that a limit exists unless you tell them. So the Children Immortality Project, the basic premise is him saying, if you never tell a kid that they can die, then they never will, because they don't know it's possible. And this guy has made multiple, like he has like over 10 websites, all of them telling the same thing. And I went down the rabbit hole of going through each and every one of them just to see where they took me. Some of them just took me to websites in like different Asian languages. Some of them were just blank pages. And then I came across this, which is the weirdest one. I'll give you the name of the website. It's called dakota.fanning.ally.tripod.com.
This is not deep web, right?
This is surface web.
This is
I have it open on my phone right now.
Cool.
Dakota.fanning.what?
Dakota.fanning.ally.tripod.com. And basically what this is, I'll give you the quick rundown. It is a website, again, from the Children's Immortality Project, basically stating that, you know, former child actress, now regular grown actress, Dakota Fanning, is the king of the indigo children, and she holds the secret to child immortality.
What? Why?
I don't fucking know. So I'm looking at it right now. I'm on the website. And yeah, all of this is just explaining.
It sounds like you have an echo. Are we getting an echo?
Are we getting an echo? Are we good?
No, we should be all right.
Hey, anybody listening, let us know if we're having issues with audio. We're still trying to get, back to our, settings normally. So
yeah.
Echo. Oh, maybe it's because she's in the living room.
Oh.
I don't know.
Who is that?
That's Val.
Oh, oh, hey, Val. What's up, babe? Anyways, fuck. All right, so let's dissect that for a second.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So that's basically what I want to bring these stories up.
Indigo children. Have you guys heard about that shit?
Yeah.
Have you heard about that
I have
shit?
not, no.
So I'll look up a brief explanation on it.
Okay.
I might butcher the explanation, but indigo children are children that are more susceptible to sensing paranormal activity and may or may not have paranormal abilities of their own, right?
Right. Yeah. So
like that, yeah.
Essentially, they're like the children that are born in the age of Aquarius. That, like this motherfucker just mentioned, they have an affinity for like the spirituality, wokeness, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Open your third eye. Let's fly together, my guy. Type of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Apparently Dakota Fanning is the queen and
no, it specifically says the king of indigo children.
The king.
She's like
want me to read you the entire quote?
Yes.
It says, Dakota Fanning is I Am Sam, taken and king of indigo children.
What?
It's
Dakota
right there.
Fanning is I Am Sam, taken and king of indigo children. I'm pretty sure it's not taken because there's an accent on there, right?
No, it's like a little star.
Oh,
right
okay,
above
never
it.
mind.
So, yeah, so this is weird, right? And
100% weird.
The fact that there's multiple websites devoted to this, and then they ended up making another website. The last one that I found, which you need a login to get into entirely, it's called imnist.org, which stands for the Immortality Institute.org, which is where you can basically, let me read you the description.
Okay.
The Immortality Institute is an international, not-for-profit, membership-based organization. Its mission is to conquer the blight of involuntary death. To advance this mission, imnis.org aims to provide, amongst other things, a repository of high-quality information, an open public forum for the free exchange of information and views, an infrastructure to support community projects and initiatives, and the facilities for supporting an international community of those with an interest in life extension. So it's trying to find the secret to immortality. It's this guy's whole mission.
You know what's weird? I don't know, y'all do like synchronicity or not, but I've been hearing a lot of talk about that whole stuff, like where they say it's time that we treat aging like what it should be, like a disease, instead of death being just like a normal part of human life. We've reached the point where we should start looking into ways to combat aging above, just the aesthetic stuff, but actually treat it like a disease and try to, counteract it.
While there may be some valid points in research to that, this isn't it, my guy.
Yeah,
This
no.
is
I'm not saying
all right,
that.
this is trippy. We just brought up the idea of synchronicity. As you were going through that, I scrolled a little bit further down on the imnis.org or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it says imnis.org was founded in 2002 by Bruce J. Klein, right? So I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I Googled Bruce J. Klein, a bunch of random shit. The last result on the first page is interview with Bruce J. Klein, Fight Aging. And it's from fightaging.org from 2003. And I guess this is a link that
it might not. Yeah, like I'm saying, it's not like valid either. Like there's just people that want to live forever. There's just been like that whole immortality.
Would you be down to live forever, like to be immortal?
No, man. Do I lose my mind when I'm doing it, or can I stay of sound mind the whole time? So I get a feeling the moment that if I've lived forever, or I'm living forever, and I've seen like countless atrocities and stuff like that, like I get the feeling I'd probably lose it.
Yeah.
Why though?
Also, I think did any of you guys watch It's Such a Beautiful Day?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, of course. Wait, It's Such a Beautiful Day is the one. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking World of Tomorrow. It's another Don Hertzfeldt one, but it's the one where she gets cloned.
Yeah. That's World of Tomorrow. It's Such a Beautiful Day. It does have like this ending monologue where the main character does live forever, and he just watches everybody he loves die, and he learns to love somebody else, and that person dies, and then it's just a continuous cycle of all that.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that, man. If I could live forever, if I could have all my friends live forever, my family live forever, then yeah, cool.
Yeah,
but if I'm gonna be like,
the only one, fuck that.
So the link to the interview with that guy, Bruce J. Klein, is 404. It's non-existent. But
dude, one day we're gonna get fucking nuked, man. Like we're
who?
I don't know. You and we're gonna get assassinated.
Why?
Because we're like digging into a lot of stuff that we shouldn't be digging.
Bro, but like
I've been digging into shit for a minute now, and
talking to the mic.
Sorry about that. I've been digging into shit for a minute now, and I've been pretty good so far. So
have you been? Okay, you guys want to know something weird?
That's good.
So throughout the time where I was experimenting with psychedelics for a while, there was like this. This is gonna sound weird, obviously, right? Because first and foremost, obviously under the influence of psychedelics. So who knows if it was just my imagination or not?
Yeah.
But there was this one truck that was always within the vicinity of like wherever I was, and it was like a white Tundra with like the fucking just like a regular white Tundra with blacked out tint. And like I would see it just in random places, like whether it was in traffic or like I went to like a cold brew show one time where like Two Lions was playing, right?
Yeah.
And it was there out of fucking like I pulled up, got off my car, and I was like, whoa. And I think I was on mushrooms that time, but I was like, whoa, I'm tripping. And then like for some reason I just turned, and then the truck was there, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, why do I always see this? But also in just as like without being too crazy about it, that's a very common truck, especially here in Laredo.
Yeah.
White Tundras.
Yeah.
I've been like
yeah, for real. I have a Tundra myself, so
I don't want to derail this, but I feel like I need to talk about it because it was pretty interesting. But
share your experience that you shared with us.
As of late, I've been taking melatonin a lot. Right? Wait, what experience are you talking about?
The one that you told us about, with the whole synchronous like over the period of a couple of days.
You're talking about the one about my grandma?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we'll save that for a spoopy update, I think.
All right, fine.
Okay.
But no. So I've been taking melatonin for the last couple of days, and just to kind of regulate sleep, man, because like I've been having a lot of trouble like staying on time with my sleep sometimes.
Yeah.
And like I end up, I'm either like super restless or super like knocked out or super energetic or whatever at like random times.
So you have a range of different modes.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Like I just know because it's like it's
one extreme or the other.
It's because here's the thing. Like I kind of like have adjusted to Kiana's clock because Kiana now goes into work at a certain time or whatever, and so I'm like more used to waking up at that time now. But then there's also like I stay up late one night and I just throw it all off and it doesn't fucking matter. I'm gonna end up staying awake till like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then I still have to wake up to take her, and then I have to go and do these different things or whatever. Whatever. I've been taking melatonin. The other day I had a super weird dream. And it was one of the first times where shit was so vivid that I had to wake up and like check myself, like to make sure that everything was cool. But so in this dream, I was in a pool. I was in a pool and I was with Kiana, and we were just there. We were talking, whatever, and like just like normal conversation or whatever. And then we ended up like going to this part of the pool that turned into like a lazy river almost, right?
All right.
And it was just really cool because it was really grassy or whatever, and like we were going and we had I was like leaned back and like floating and like holding Kiana at the same time, and she was just like talking to me and showing me stuff, whatever. And then I noticed on her arm that she had like a different tattoo, right? And a couple of different tattoos on her. And I was like, hey, when did you get those? I don't remember seeing those. She was like, oh, I don't know. And then she turned around or whatever, and she had more on the top of her arm, right? So she starts like showing them to me, and she shows me this one, and she's like, I don't remember getting this one. And it's this image of a window.
Just as Epstein didn't kill himself.
It's this image of a window, and it just has a little boy like peering there, and I'm just like, what the fuck, you know? And then she turns it around, and it's a mermaid on her arm, and then on her hand, it's the image of like a spider, right? And so I just stayed there. I was just kind of like, well, that's really weird. And I kept looking, and she goes, yeah, that's weird. I can't remember getting them either, whatever, right? Then I feel something like touch my feet, and I freak out, and I look, and then I just like I turn and look at Kiana, and then she's like, hang on, let me go. And I'm like, why? And then she gets off, and then I get pulled underwater, and it's a mermaid, and the mermaid comes up to me or whatever, and it's just like kind of swimming around me, and I'm just like trying to swim upwards, and it's laughing, and it's just laughing and going around, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I get up, and then Kiana's like, are you okay? And she like gets my hand or whatever and pulls me toward. Then we keep going down the river or whatever, and I turn and I look, and there's a window, and there's a little boy peering through it, and I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? And then like I turn back, and Kiana's not there, and then I go into this like net. And it's like a rope net, but then all these fucking spiders crawl out from it and started just crawling all over me. And I like freak out, and I was just kind of like, what the fuck? And I snap out of my dream, and like I turn over and I look at Kiana. I'm like, did she get those fucking tattoos? Like I feel like I don't know why I couldn't like distinguish it. And I've had this issue a lot recently since taking melatonin. And she shows me her like I get her arm while she's asleep, and I just kind of like look at it. I'm like, all right, cool, I'm tripping. And then just kind of like stay there for a bit. But that dream has kind of been recurrent lately, and it freaks me out every time, especially the fucking mermaid part. Like that
sounds fucking wild, dude.
It is pretty wild.
Last night I had a dream. I was at the dentist getting like a cleaning done or whatever. Yeah. And then you know how they're like, oh, spit the water out or whatever. Yeah. I like actually spit.
You actually spit, yeah. Dude. It's happened to me before too,
dude. Like, I got it all over my hand and shit. I was like, "What the fuck?" I woke up. I was like,
it's happened to me before too. One time, I saw it happen. My dad was asleep on his recliner, or it was a chair and it had like an ottoman or whatever. He was asleep there, and I was just like there chilling, and I was like looking at my phone, and then all of a sudden I'm like. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like I started looking at him, and he goes, "Gay." Okay. And I'm like, why'd you spit? He goes, soñando. He just fell back asleep. And I was like, all right, dude. But yeah, all right. So hit us with the next one, Franny.
All right.
Or were you gonna elaborate anymore? I didn't mean to cut.
No, yeah, there's like a lot to dissect.
There's a
Going
lot-
back to the
yeah.
fucking. So we followed the trail on that website, right?
Yeah. Now, it's funny that you mentioned that the interview with this dude has been 404 because the guy that I'm talking about, Robert Ray Hedges, he has stated, in multiple accounts that he feels that the knowledge that he has about, immortality is so powerful and so life altering that he feels that he's being silenced by, Google and, all these high level corporations. And when, a lot of these websites, like he had to make multiple websites because his kept getting taken down. So are these just like the ramblings of a madman online?
I don't fucking know, man.
Or
let me read. So like you click the link where it says the interview with Bruce J. Klein about fighting aging.
yeah.
It takes you to this other website called fightingaging.org, right? And it takes
Yeah.
you to their archive specifically. This interview is from October the 13th of 2003. Now the interview is not available, but they have like a summary of what is being talked about in the interview, and this is what it says. Better Humans is running an interview with Bruce J. Klein, founder of the Immortality Institute. Like the longevity meme, the Institute works raising awareness, supporting medical research, and spreading the word are all important forms of activism at this page. Public attention drives funding, and funding drives science. The Immortality Institute website is home to a friendly, active online community interested in healthy life extension and other technological advances. You should certainly visit and take a look. And then there's several hyperlinks to some of the names that are in that excerpt that I just read. Now, the website that this is being hosted on is called fightingaging.org, right?
Yeah.
And then it says something about SENS Research Foundation Reimagine Aging, celebrating 10 years of success in the development of rejuvenation biotechnology. Help us lay the groundwork for 10 more years and donate to the 2019 end of the year fundraising campaign. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm like. This is trippy. This is weird.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sounds like one of those like dystopian, like upper society, like we live longer kind of thing.
Like, there's no way that this is real.
There's absolutely no way.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, this has to be a fucking scam to like get money for sure.
Why though?
Like a well-engineered scam.
Why though?
Okay, but now the question is,
SENS Research Foundation. This is I don't know. I'm subtly unsettled right now by how weird this whole thing is.
yeah,
Especially since like,
Well, I mean, it's no surprise that people want to live longer. I mean,
So-
that's one thing, but like, to actually start a campaign. I remember seeing the headline on Reddit. One of the headlines on the eyebrows are all. I don't fucking do front page most of the time, but the one of the top ones for that day was it said it's time we start treating aging like we should. It's a disease.
So now here's a question though: is this an elaborate scam, as you said? But now, is there a disconnect between the two approaches to it? Because the Immortality Institute is going about it in like a very scientific terms, right? Whereas what started the rabbit hole, which is my boy here, Bobby Hedges, is going about it in a very like holistic, metaphysical way of just being like, hey, rethink what you know about dying. Just forget that dying is an option. And you'll
Trust
never
in Dakota
die.
Fanning.
Trust in Dakota Fanning.
Yeah.
so okay, I followed the
This
SENS
guy.
Research Foundation
Yeah.
link to the actual SENS Research Foundation website, right? So
Uh-huh.
it's sens.org, and right when the landing page is like donate now or whatever, and they have like their meter of how much has been donated. It's like right around $0, and then so I scrolled all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
And then there's like contact us staff or whatever. So I click staff, and there's like a picture of people like that are the staff, quote unquote, right?
Uh-huh.
The old as fuck or what?
No, they're not. They
They're
don't look
kids?
like it. They're I don't
Dakota
know.
Fanning is there in the lab
There's like
coat.
one or two old dudes, maybe like a middle-aged dude, and then other people that are like definitely young looking. Now, a lot of the people that are here have the title doctor. I don't know what the fuck if they're actual doctors or not.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is really fucking weird. I'll just fucking Immortality Institute.
Do you need a palate cleanser? I have a bit of a funny one. and we can
Okay,
get into a weird
okay.
one.
Yeah, this is.
What's
I just want to keep digging and see like what the fuck get to the bottom. I feel like I'm being pulled into like a scam. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, yeah.
What? Oh, okay. It's hold on. Let me mute my mic. And we're back. I couldn't give out my address on the stream. Sorry, guys. But anyways, all right, fuck it. ImmortalityInstitute.org is weird. Look down that rabbit hole if you want to trip out for a bit. Anyway, let's go on to the next one.
Okay. So I've got another bizarre, kind of creepy one, or one that I just think is really funny. What do you prefer right now?
I want some funny.
Want some funny? Okay,
yeah, let's go with funny, and then we'll go to the creepy.
Let's go with funny. So, have you guys heard? I swear this is not a joke on you. Have you guys heard of My Immortal?
No.
Not the Evanescence song. So this is gonna be a funny one. I have like a personal connection to this, so this is fucking cool for me. So My Immortal was a really really shitty Harry Potter fanfic written in 2006 2007.
Okay, that's
So,
kind of a weird start.
The mystery here is though. Well, there's two mysteries that I want to discuss with y'all. First of all, is it genuine, or is it a hoax, or is it satire? Because it is so overwhelmingly bad. Like, it is absolutely terrible in the best ways. Like, I cried laughing reading My Immortal, right? And then the second mystery is, so remember, this came out in 2006. So it's been almost like 14, 15 years now.
13
years
Yes.
now. We don't know who the actual author is. And
Some
this
fucking add-on.
No, hold on. So this was like an actual like cultural internet milestone when it happened. It was that big. Like, it was reported on by the Daily Dot, Vulture, I think Kotaku also
For
talked
being so
about it.
bad?
For being so bad. Like, so bad it's good that, multiple, pop culture websites talked about it. But nobody knows who fucking wrote it. So let's go a little bit down that rabbit hole together, right? So let me give you a little bit of information first. So My Immortal, like I said, came out around 2006, 2007. It went live on the website fanfiction.net. And the username, the author that posted it had the username, check this shit out, username XXX bloody wrist 666XXX. Dope fucking name, right? Now, the author did give a name, so problem, like, mystery solved, right? But not quite. She gave herself the name Tara Gillespie. She said she had a co-author / editor that was only identified as Raven, whose username was Bloody Tears, Bloody Tears 666. Now, the thing is, were there really two authors, or is it just one person? Because if you have a supposed editor, but then you read the fanfic and it's so filled with grammar and spelling errors, like, didn't help for shit, right? But at the time that this shit was published, it was so fucking powerful. Like, it made trolls, like, bend to their will, because people were trolling, like, being like, yo, this fucking sucks. And I remember, because I used to keep up with it, like, live, because it was amazing. They literally said, like, hey, unless you guys apologize and say that our fan fiction is good, we will never post another chapter of My Immortal again. And then people flooded it with rave reviews, and negative reviewers were like, we changed our mind, this shit fucking rips. So, like, it was a powerful moment to kind of turn the trolls around, right? So all of this happened in 2006, 2007. As far as we know, it was written by a girl named Tara Gillespie and her friend Raven, right?
Well, did you read the thing?
I read the fucking thing.
What's the premise of the actual story?
Okay, you ready for this bullshit?
Yes.
Fuck. Here we go.
So, My Immortal.
No spoilers too far. I'm gonna probably
no,
check it out.
no. Actually, there's a thing Elena and I want to do. I'll tell you about it right now. All of y'all are invited.
All right.
So, My Immortal stars. Let me get you the name of the main character, because it has a stand-in character. Her name is I have it written down here. Okay, Ebony Darkness Dementia Raven Way.
What the fuck?
Not related to Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance, but she wishes she were. That's part of the text. So it follows this character, Ebony Darkness Dementia Raven Way, who is a half vampire, half witch, that goes to Hogwarts, and she's goth, and she falls in love with both Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter. They have a love triangle. Every canon character just got like a super shitty mall goth remake. So everyone's like bisexual and wears heavy eyeliner. And they're all,
What the fuck?
and they love bands like Good Charlotte, Simple Plan, and My Chemical Romance. And this is what the story's about. It's fucking ridiculous, right? But as you can tell, like just from the sound of it, for just like a very simple summary of the premise, you could understand why this shit took off like wildfire. But we didn't know who wrote it. So here we go. Now, again, there's a question. From the beginning, it was asked, is this genuine? Like, can someone actually be this bad at writing? Is it a hoax? Like, is this like leading to something else? Or is it satire? Like, is somebody just kind of making fun of, the bad fact fiction tropes? Because the character's like, what would be considered a Mary Sue, like a completely perfect, everybody loves you character. So is it like, what is it, right? So anyway, so people read it. It came and went. It was popular for a year or two, covered everywhere. Then it just kind of died. Then in 2008, a YouTube channel went up, which was called XX Bloody Kisses XX. And it followed two girls who were into gothic fashion that went by the name Tara and Raven. So there's like, oh, they're the girls, right? They're the My Immortal girls. Well, Vulture.com, who covered the story initially about how fucking bonkers it was, they were like, holy shit, we got the author. So they actually interviewed the two girls from this YouTube channel, and they were like, no, it's not us. Like, it's not us, and we didn't read it. Like, we don't know what you're talking about.
What the fuck?
So, like, fucking weird, right? So fast forward to 2017. 2 years ago, this publishing house, I forgot the name of it. I have it on my notes. Let me, hold on.
I like the preparation, man.
For real.
You're impressing me, Franny.
Yeah, dude.
You might just get your own podcast.
I want this shit to fucking happen. Yeah, so this publishing house, get the name here.
Let me get the name here. Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Tripping.
Okay, so, it was called Macmillan Publishers. Macmillan Publishers.
Isn't that like a Scholastic publisher and shit, right?
Yeah. So Macmillan Publishers received a copy of a memoir called Under the Same Stars, The Search for My Brother and the True Story of My Immortal.
What?
And this was authored by a young woman, a young adult novel writer named Rose Christo. And in this story...
I love it! You know why, though, right?
In this story, supposedly, the alleged author, Miss Rose Christo, claims that she was of Native American descent and that she grew up in a horrifically abusive household with her brother, who she doesn't name. So things apparently got so bad that they got put into protective custody, like they had to go into a foster home. So they went into foster care and were eventually separated, right? And then years later, Rose Christo wrote My Immortal, published it on fanfiction.net, hoping that her long-lost brother would find it, recognize it as hers, and then reconnect.
What the fuck?
Makes no fucking sense,
None.
right? None. Well, first of all, she said on the website that her name was Tara Gillespie. So she's already going by a completely different name, right? But apparently Macmillan Publishers, they hired a lawyer to look into her story, said some of it checked out, like enough of it checks out that we'll believe you and we'll publish the book, right? So, y'all know Kiwi Farms?
No.
So Kiwi Farms is this forum online.
Okay.
And they're famous for being, very, very good internet stalkers. Like, they'll find internet personalities or like they'll latch on to a particular like internet locale and they'll just find out everything there is to know. Like they'll dox the shit out of them, right? So they caught wind of this Rose Christo character saying she wrote My Immortal. They heard the same story I just told you, and they were like, doesn't check out. So they doxed her. They looked into all her public records, and they found her brother.
What?
They found a guy who said he was her brother, and supposedly there's proof that backs this up. And they asked him straight up, "Is this shit true?" And he's like, "No. First of all, we're not Native American. Secondly, yeah, we come from a divorced household, but we're never put into foster care. Rose went to go live with my mom, and I didn't get along with my mom, and our dad was a piece of shit. So I just lived with my grandma, but she could have reached out to me whenever she wanted."
What the fuck?
So now we're back to square one here. Who wrote it? Who made it? Who created this?
Is that the last step in or the last update?
The last update was that there was another woman whose actual name was never revealed, and in all my notes, I couldn't find the username that she went by. It's this girl that had a Tumblr who said, "No, I wrote it and I can prove it." And they were like, "Well, how can you prove it?" And she said, "I can log into the fanfiction.net profile that uploaded My Immortal." And they were like, people were like, "Bet, do it." And she did. She logged in.
What?
But is that definitive proof? Like, that could have been hacking. Maybe she knows the actual author and she has the information. And even if she is the actual writer, she didn't give her name. So we still don't know who the author
fuck wrote
is.
it, yeah.
Of this huge piece of internet lore.
That's crazy. I never heard of that before. It seems
Same.
I kind of want to read a little bit of it.
So what I was going to tell you.
For the lulz.
So Elena, I showed it to Elena this morning. Elena's my girlfriend, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
We want to have like a little get together. I don't drink, but if y'all guys want to get drunk and do a live reading of it, that would be fucking funny.
Yeah, no, that sounds dope. I'm down.
Yeah.
I wanted to do the thing that Franny had mentioned last time. Franny wants to play WWE 2K20, make custom characters, and get drunk and fight them. It'd be sounds fun. I'm not sure if you've seen the character creation gets fucking wild on there, dude.
The creation suite is fucking
it's crazy,
insane. Like, it's highly detailed. Like, you could create anything and anybody, and you get to pick what moves you use, and you could make like
you
a
can
fucking
go balls out.
Yeah, you can go balls out. So it sounds like fun.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that thing on My Immortal. I don't.
Let's just start a fucking D&D campaign, guys.
At the height of its popularity, My Immortal.
Let me try that. Sorry.
At the height of its popularity, My Immortal did have multiple live readings. Like, people were throwing My Immortal parties where they would just meet up and just read it. There was at least one known instance of a slam poet in Portland, Oregon, who went up and instead of reciting a poem, he just read off of My Immortal and just confused the shit out of anybody who didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. So this thing transcended the internet.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yet we don't know who wrote it.
That's fucking crazy.
It's still up in the air who is the actual writer of this. And I think it's fascinating.
Did you ever read any of like the Halo books?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was there any? I think there was like a fan fiction one that I might have read that I thought was part of the book.
Oh, I don't know about fan fiction, but I read the shit. It's funny that you mentioned that again. Synchronicity. I just downloaded because they added it onto Game Pass. Nice. I just downloaded the whole Master Chief collection, and I'm trying to get Kiana into checking it out from the beginning. I just started. I'm not even kidding. I just started or restarted Halo 1, Halo Combat Evolved yesterday, and I played a little bit today actually. So yeah.
Damn,
that's funny. But yeah, I'm all in. Dude, you want to talk Halo lore? I'm balls deep in that shit. Like, balls deep in that shit.
Which ones have I read? I know I read The Fall of Reach.
I
read the one that I'm not sure whether or not it was a thing was the one for the most recent Halo release.
Halo 5 Guardians.
Yeah. I think that was the name of the book, right? Halo Guardians.
Yeah. Well, they went. So the books, there was always already. So actually, at this point, as far as I know, the games are catching up to the books.
Right. So I know. I think I read like 2 or 3, including Fall of Reach and the one that I just mentioned, and I can't remember the name of the other one.
There was so the first ones there was like there's a shit ton. Fall of Reach. There's one that's just called The Flood.
I've read that one.
There's There's the Ark of the Covenant or some shit like that. I don't remember, something like that. And then there's the there's Harvest, New Harvest or something like that.
I don't think I've read that one.
So all of these, like that, like Harvest was the like basically the origin story of the sergeant. What's it called?
The guy with the cigar?
The black dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was stationed on a planet named Harvest, which is literally a farm moon. So they just used the whole place to farm and then create colonies or whatever. And it was one of the first instances of Covenant making an appearance. So yeah, I'm all into like the Halo lore, but I don't know which one you're talking about.
I need to read into Halo lore if I want to be part of this conversation.
It's fucking sick, dude.
It's fun, man, because you have the whole thing like Master Chief, right? And then but like the story, the main story like is the fight against the Covenant and stuff like that. But it goes deeper than that when you start like looking into like the Spartans and who they are and how they were created and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, some
basically.
Okay.
The Halsey like is one of the main characters. She's the one who
I don't fuck with her music, my guy.
Well, she's the one who they modeled Cortana after her, basically, because it's like it's literally a piece of her brain and you know the way she thinks, whatever, right? She steals babies, dude. She steals babies, replaces them with clones,
and then the clones die.
Whoa! And so they're like wiped out because they never like perfected that process or whatever. And the clones was just they were times like they were just eventually. So they steal them. Then they train them from birth on how to be, Spartans, and they've got different ones. Now they have like in Halo 5, the newest one in Guardians or whatever. You start meeting different Spartans because they enacted a new program, which is like the Spartan 5s or Spartan 4s or I don't know what. But these new Spartans, they can just be anybody. Like you just, so long as you're physically fit, they can, pair you with an AI or some bullshit like that and, get you going. So, yeah, whatever.
Really gets you going.
Okay.
Yeah, that's that. I don't know. I just I'm super into Halo right now. So
I mean, not right now, but just in general. Yeah. And just to close the whole Halo thing up, I'm mad that they never made like a movie, other than that short film on Netflix.
So I could talk about that too. The what's it called?
District 9.
District 9. District 9 was supposed to. So there was a short film. You remember that?
Yeah,
there was a short film.
It aired on Discovery Channel and shit.
Yeah, actually, there was a short film that was made. That was like it was actually used as the campaign for Halo 3. So in that time they started showing like these little things, whatever. And the person who directed that, Neil Blomkamp, same guy who did District 9. So District 9 was supposed to be a Halo movie. Then it didn't happen because it always got shelved. Then then Elysium was supposed to be a Halo movie. Then it got shelved, so he worked on Elysium instead. And Chappie also supposed to be a Halo movie.
Oh shit, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah. I haven't seen it either. I know the dudes from like Die.
It's all the same dudes.
Yeah.
I just know that like they had some of the props that were like you can clearly see that they're like Halo inspired.
Absolutely. Yeah,
like
a lot of the shit is Halo inspired. Yeah, battle
BRs.
rifles
and
and
some fucking BRs in there.
Yeah, even the alien like species stuff too. So yeah, a lot of that stuff in there. Anyway, yeah, sorry, Freddie.
All good.
We talk a lot of. I'm just like really. I've been I've been really into getting into video games, dude, and that's just because this is gonna sound kind of depressing, but like I haven't been able to find joy in a video game in a long time. Like I've been trying to find a video game that's been made that made me feel the way I felt when I was playing Halo and like seeing all the dude. When I remember like getting, I literally like skipped school without my mom knowing for like 3 days just to play Halo 3, like
just to get all the skulls, and shit, bro.
And all that shit. So yeah, I wish I still had that like magic and wonder about a video game. And the one that was about to do it for me was Modern Warfare, and then I played Black Ops 4, I think, and then I remembered, I hate these games still. So somebody told me that Modern Warfare is like super fucking good, and that it reminds
the campaign, bro.
No, not even the fuck the campaign.
It's because I feel like the whole thing of at least for me anyway, with video games was like you got to play with the homies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the main fucking thing.
Yeah.
I don't have any homies to play with anymore, dude. They're all
I don't
busy.
have a console to play with you, so
I'll buy you a fucking console, dude.
I'm down as fuck.
Just kidding.
Damn.
I have a PS4 that is just sitting there.
I'm buying off you, dude.
And
Black
I
Friday.
only have the PS4 for the exclusives, man. Because you know what, I'm gonna take it back. One of the games that made me feel like
Spooter dude.
God damn. Yeah, well, aside from Spider-Man, God of War, dude. And
Oh,
it was
yeah,
just
that's
kind of
true.
about
That's
the same,
fucking
dude.
good.
God of
God of
War
War was fucking good. Yeah.
God of War, this last release, dude, it fucking made me.
Not even that a Viking one was that good, no?
Which Viking one?
The one where you're the chick. That
Oh, Senua, the
Yeah.
Hellblade. I just finished that a couple of days ago too, man, and it was like it was very as a psychological experience like that you have to kind of reflect on and stuff, whatever. But I liked the lore and all that stuff. It was cool. But yeah, dude, he's talking about this game called Hellblade.
Yep.
And there was this one thing
it's
where
like, they like recommend you play it with like a fucking badass headset or
yeah,
surround sound or
because
some shit.
so the game is supposed to be like they were with like psychiatrists and people who were actually afflicted of like schizophrenia and stuff like that to simulate the experience of what it's like to have a voice in your head. So like when you're like playing, there's voices and I was playing with a headset because I have a headset. It's not badass, but it's it's good surround sound, whatever.
Yeah.
So like I was playing it and I was just like hearing it, and you'll hear like a, hey, where are you going? You're going the wrong way. Where are you? She's gonna die. She's gonna die. Like weird fucking voices, and it gets pretty creepy, dude. And like
fucking bet, man.
Fuck that. I'm not down.
it's not scary, like, because like
It's an experience.
nothing in the game like comes out like jump scares or anything like that. It's just a little unsettling while you're playing. So, but then you get fucking the fucking swords, bro, and you fucking get in there and kick ass, dude. I don't know, whatever. Anyway,
anyways, back to the fan fiction shit. One of the things that I thought was cool, and it's like somewhat related but unrelated, is like the whole like the creepypastas about like lost episodes of like your favorite growing up shit. Those are dope as fuck. Like the Ed and Eddie one and all that.
I got one. It's not on my list of topics to talk about today, but I can get into it real quick.
Go for it.
You're down. So there was a.
Kiana just messaged me saying, "Do you want your zebra cake?"
Yeah, I'm down.
Huh?
I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a quote unquote lost movie called A Day with SpongeBob. I don't know if y'all heard of this one.
No.
I don't have too many factors. Like I said, I wasn't planning on talking about it today, but I'll just give a quick rundown. So it was supposed to be like a third party film. There was like cover art made for it and everything. And it's like a very wild premise where like a kid wins a contest to go undersea and hang out with SpongeBob SquarePants for a day. So this is like a lost film. But what adds some form of legitimacy to it is that, I don't know if it's still up, but for a while, if you went on the Sears.com website and typed it in, they supposedly had it in stock.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and it was called A Day with SpongeBob. And nobody ever saw this. There were some people who claimed they may have seen it like on a bargain bin somewhere, like for like $1, but they're not sure. And then some people did say like, and they posted results online. Like they looked it up on Sears.com and it was there. Like it was there for sale. Like I said, it might have been taken down. So if you're going to try it, you might not find it. But yeah, it was there for a minute.
Snack time.
It's snack time. But yeah, so
Demi time.
that's a quick little detour in talking about lost media.
Yeah, and like I'm pretty sure the ones I've read are like the ones that everyone's fucking read, like the fucking Ed and Eddie Purgatory one, the super hyper realistic SpongeBob episode 1.
Yeah,
you heard about that one?
The Red Mist, the suicide.
Yeah, the suicide. Yeah, suicide. Whatever. Then there was another one.
You know, they referenced it on a recent episode of SpongeBob. Like there was a clip. I didn't watch the episode, but there was like a clip. Like apparently, like they're looking at doors that lead to alternate universes, and Squidward opens a door, and there's like the red-eyed, suicidal Squidward just looking at him, and it stays on there for like a second or two, like awkwardly long, and then he just slams the door on Suicide Squidward, and then just
Like, oh fuck that.
And then the episode continues.
That's creepy.
So yeah, they referenced it, which is ballsy.
Yeah, that's pretty. And I feel like a lot of cartoons that are like the newer ones, especially like Adventure Time and regular show, are very like, I don't know, out there.
Yeah, spooky.
Yeah.
Well, Adventure Time is a post-apocalyptic
world,
society thing. Yeah, they show everything from like, you know, you see the mushroom war was like the atomic war and all that shit. So
everyone's
but
like,
that's not so
as
much
fuck.
like speculation anymore. No, like that's
that's confirmed. Yeah, that's like canon. And then like the trippiest episodes were the one where they like go to hell and all that shit. Those are trippy in Adventure Time. Where like Peppermint Butler is like, yeah, I gotta do this ritual, and does like some weird summoning thing, and it gets like possessed, and they open a fucking portal, and this is, I'm fucking telling you, this is all in that cartoon. I'm like, what the fuck?
All of that sounds entirely believable.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing. It's trippy as fuck. There's like this one episode where it's called The Real Me, where they give Finn a pair of glasses that make him really fucking smart, and then so like he puts them on or whatever, and then he's like, essentially has like a psychedelic trip, and he's like, the meaning of life is to die, so he's gonna fucking kill everyone and himself, because he's like, everything is just a bigger pattern or a smaller pattern of everything that's larger, and I don't know what the fuck. And then like it's just a weird episode because it like how like, you know, like it's 100% not for kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What the fuck, that should be like on Adult Swim or some shit.
Yeah.
But anyways, what's the last one you got with you?
Okay, last mystery that I got. It's
we're rapping or what?
No,
we're just gonna
the third one.
Yeah, gonna describe it, then we talk about it.
Yeah.
Have y'all heard of the M Cave?
No.
Or the disappearance of Kenny Veach?
No. Wait. Let me ask this: is this the YouTube channel of the Cave Explorer guy that disappeared? Short. Yes. Okay, then yes, I have heard about it, and I did like a little bit of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for Roger and the other people that don't know about it, so Kenny Veach was a YouTuber. He mainly uploaded videos of himself hiking, specifically exploring caves. His YouTube name was Snakebit McGee.
Yes.
He went by the name Snakebit McGee, right? He was an avid hiker / cave explorer. So one time he left a really weird comment on another video. The video was called Son of an Area 51 Technician. The comment that he left reads as follows. He said, and I quote, "This ain't nothing. I am a long distance hiker. One time during one of my hikes out by the Nellis Air Force Base, I found a hidden cave. The entrance to the cave was shaped like a perfect capital M. I always enter every cave I find. But as I began to enter this particular cave, my whole body began to vibrate. The closer I got to the cave entrance, the worse the vibrating became. Suddenly, I became very scared and hightailed it out of there. It was one of the strangest things that's ever happened to me." That was the comment. So a lot of people, kind of read into it, and they were telling him like, "Yo, where's this cave, dude? Go back. Like, we want to see this cave." So on a recorded date, Kenny set out again for a second trip to find a cave. On this second trip, he took a 9mm handgun with him and his video camera. He claims to have not found the cave on the second trip. Still, he uploaded videos of himself looking for it. Following his uploads of the second trip, he was again encouraged by other YouTubers to look for the cave again. So they were like, "Nah, bro, like,
you gotta fucking find it.
You gotta fucking find this weird ass cave, right?" So, but when people were telling him to look for the cave, somebody left a very ominous message, a very ominous comment, which reads, "No, do not go back there. If you find that cave entrance, don't go in. If you do, you won't get out." End quote. On November 10th, 2014, Kenny Veach told his family he was going to go on another hike to find the cave. And that was the last time he was ever heard from again. On November 22nd of 2014, volunteer search and rescue teams found Kenny's cell phone at the entrance of a nearby vertical mine shaft, indicating that Kenny had in fact gone back to look for the cave. And that's the last that was ever heard of him. They found his cell phone by this mine shaft. People were thinking maybe he fell in because it was a vertical mine shaft. He fell in and he died. But no remains were found at the mine shaft. Now, there's some theories as to what may have happened. This mystery took off. Of course it did, right? It took off, especially on Reddit. There was a Reddit post by this woman, an unidentified, anonymous woman who claims to be Kenny Beach's girlfriend up until the moment of his disappearance. I'm not going to quote the full post because it was fucking long, but the gist of it is she's saying, like, we're all very thankful that you all are continuing to help us on the search for Kenny, but I believe that he didn't get lost or that he didn't do anything he didn't disappear, but rather he killed himself because Kenny had been talking to me, in the weeks prior to his disappearance, that he was feeling, really, really depressed, and his YouTube channel wasn't as successful as it could have been, and all these other factors, and he was claiming, that he was contemplating suicide. So she's saying he didn't get lost in this cave, or he's not lost, he's dead. But where's the body? Where is he? Did he find the cave? He wasn't at the cave. If anybody's found it, some people claim to have found the cave already.
Dude, oh yeah, so I was about to bring that up. So I looked it up real quick, and where Nellis Air Force Base was, because I was curious. It's in Nevada.
51.
Yeah,
It's
it's in Nevada.
51.
And then I just Googled M Cave, right? Mystery. Yeah. And then the first video is his thing where he doesn't find the cave from October 18th, 2014. Second video, M Cave cover-up found by somebody on YouTube that goes by the name Libera Sean. Or Libera, I don't know. Libera Sean. This was uploaded July 31st of this year. And then there's a subsequent video after that. It's a 2-hour video, essentially.
Yeah.
It looks like there's a guy that's hiking out in the Nevada desert. Another video after that, 3-minute video, August the 13th of 2019. M Cave comparison, Libera Sean's video versus Kenny Veach. So, we should definitely look into this shit. I'm curious as fuck now.
So, another theory going around, because a lot of people have just kind of blindly accepted the suicide theory, but again, there's no body. So can that be true? So now here's where we get into tinfoil hat territory. So people are thinking, Nellis Air Force Base is in the Nevada desert, in relatively close proximity to Area 51, meaning the M Cave is also close to Area 51. So the whole aspect of the story where Kenny says he feels his body vibrating, and which is what led him to feel so uneasy and leave the cave, might have been some sort of experimental weaponry by the military, employing some sort of sonic weaponry, which fucking with frequencies that cause these vibrations. So another theory is he found the cave, went in, saw some shit he shouldn't have, like military shit, and got taken out due to the close proximity to both Nellis Air Force Base and its proximity to Area 51.
You remember Hellier?
Yes.
I
turned it off because you were eating.
Well, yeah, I moved it away from him.
Yeah,
Can you still hear the munch?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's why.
Anyway, so Hellier, have you ever heard of that? Hellier.
Yeah.
Where's it? Hellier, West Virginia, or Hellier,
Kentucky.
Hellier, Kentucky.
So
I don't believe I have now.
There's this documentary on Amazon Prime. You guys can check it out. It's gonna get uninteresting after the third or fourth episode, but there's a case of back in the days, I think, if I'm not mistaken, right around the time that Vietnam was going on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's reports of a fucking platoon or brigade, a group of soldiers that are, or National Guard, one or the other, that go into Hellier, Kentucky, Hellier, Kentucky to combat these creatures that they called goblins that were in the mines in that area.
Okay. Okay.
And then this one person, I forgot do you remember the pseudonym?
Look, okay, so the it starts off like this. The guy gets an email.
Yes.
He runs a random thing. It's called like Ghost Hunters Inc.
Yeah.
Right? Or Monster Hunters Inc. or Ghost Hunters Inc. Something like that. They weren't incorporated. They weren't official or anything like that. It was something that him and a couple buddies did years before that happened to be still up. Like they kept the website up because it was just something they wanted to keep for memories, right? What ended up happening was that they got a random email because with that website, the email was also still active. Yeah. They got an email that says, "Hey, I need your help. There are extraterrestrials."
No, there's something going on my property. I'm a doctor that just moved here.
Yeah, something going on my property, whatever. My family's very scared. I need your help, whatever. And he goes and he asks him, like, all right, well, what's up? The guy messages back and says that he believes what our extraterrestrials are on his property and they're hassling him or whatever, right? Whatever. Long story short,
he sends him like photographic evidence or like footprints.
Send him photographic evidence. Then they start realizing that there's a cave system that spans from Hellier, Kentucky, all the way towards some other area, and I forgot, fuck knows where. They said it potentially expands the entire United States, and this to them is one of the interdimensional caves that they believe transports what we perceive as mythological beings or cryptids from one place to another. Which is why they're felt or they can be seen in different areas or seemingly in two places at once. And that's pretty much the gist of it. So whenever I hear caves now, I think, dude, transported. Yeah. Yeah, like some like portal. Yeah, some portal that's like leading from one area to the next that we just don't know about. Because a lot of people who like they believe that cryptids are not in fact not extraterrestrial. Even extraterrestrials, aliens, aren't actually from out of this world, but rather interdimensional. Mm-hmm. Okay. Lola. No, it's not Lola. It's Demi. Sorry, I always call her Lola.
I don't know why.
I don't know where I get Lola from.
I don't know either.
Same shit happens to me.
It's weird.
I just feel like I remember my
she's a Lola, dude.
She's in a lowland, dude.
But yeah, this one time, like, my girlfriend was like,
you could see her toe,
pet sitting for her aunt, and she sent me like a picture of the dog. It's like, oh, guess who's at my house right now? And the dog's name is Zoe, but in my head,
that's my brother's dog's name.
But in my head, I was like, oh shit, look, it's Lola. And she was like,
no,
that's not Lola. No, like, who the fuck is Lola?
Yeah, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Wrong thread. Okay, a little echo, but it's not bothersome. Thank you, whoever said that. I think it's with when you speak into the mic because you're not directly onto it.
My bad.
Yeah. But
okay, so I think Roger is throwing his hat into the ring now, saying that Kenny Beach is in a different dimension, right?
Yeah,
but it's in Nevada. Well, I mean, this is. Also, this next thing that I'm about to bring up is also an internet mystery from the Chan, and I was there from like right after when it happened. So, and I looked it up just because I wanted to like a quick refresh on.
Sorry, I'm just munching while I'm hearing you guys because I didn't come prepared with any internet stories. I thought Franny was gonna just tell a story.
Yeah, and this is just some shit that happened to me.
Oh,
so,
okay,
like,
go.
So whatever. So on the Chan, several different fucking boards. Right, I usually go to X. That's the one with like the paranormal one, but it's it's not super active. However, one night a couple years ago, I was on it like maybe 2-3 in the morning, and then I didn't get to see the original event that happened, but I started seeing like the posters after that. But apparently, there was a picture that was posted of an alien or humanoid-like creature, right? Immediately after it was posted, 4chan, the entire site, all the different boards went down, and then it came back up like an hour or so later.
Without the
picture being found, it was scrubbed completely away from it. And so I was seeing like all these people comment on like what it looked like or whatever, and then that someone had tried to take a screenshot of it, but the file was corrupted. Like there was no evidence left of this thing. They
I heard about that.
You heard about that one?
Yeah, yeah.
So the picture that I don't know how the fuck they did this, but they essentially found where the location of the picture was taken, and it was outside or near proximity to Luke Air Force Base. That is somewhere in the Nevada desert, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check on that shit to be quick here. But the picture was like of fucking unsettling as fuck, according to the people that got to see it, because it was like hyper, like if a fucking random thing, right, what you can imagine to be an alien, got a phone and just took a selfie of itself and like uploaded it, right? Now, like they were all fucking speculating that it like, oh, it's in Arizona. It's in Arizona. My bad. So it's Arizona desert.
Okay.
And they were able to like somehow trace or narrow down the location to like an area near that Air Force Base, to where they were speculating like maybe it broke out. Was that her? She's like, give me a fucking shit, bro. No, get out of here. You don't even belong in here. And so they were speculating that it like broke free of the Air Force Base or whatever and tried to like reveal its existence to the world by doing that. And then that crashed the 4chan website. And 4chan has been crashed on a couple of different times where there was a lot of weird shit going on. But that one, there's no picture that exists. And I looked it up real quick because I wanted to bring it up. And I found a thread on Reddit that has like the different renditions as the days progress from the original post, of like people providing now misinformation and then like other pictures that were not the original picture.
Yeah.
The original picture doesn't exist anymore. No, it's nowhere to be found. But that was trippy. And I remember just being like, what the fuck? Somebody post, and then like the people that saw the first picture before the site went down, they described like the thing as like it had like purple eyes and like very like green scaly skin, but like it was taken with like a high quality, like clear fucking picture, like a selfie cam on an iPhone or some shit, like a high quality ass picture. That's why, and it was so fucking like so real that it made people be like, "There's no way that this is real." You know what I mean? Like those type of things.
Okay.
And then that picture is gone, and I don't know. I'm looking at a bunch of like the different pictures that were posted from the days after that are all just like different versions of what people think that they saw, but the original picture is gone. And then like some people say that it was a hoax, that it never happened. Some people say that it's just a meme or whatever, but
Lola's under here, sorry.
Her name is Demi, by the way.
Her name is Lola now.
It's not. It's Demetria, just so you know.
What was I gonna say? Y'all ever heard about Glitch in the Matrix?
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys ever seen the kind of stuff on like Reddit or 4chan?
I've seen like videos on YouTube about that shit.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Where there's like airplanes that are just like stuck in midair, or birds that are like flying across the frame and then they just fucking like glitch back and shit like that. Is that what you're referring to? Or like what?
So Glitch in the Matrix is people telling stories about their lives where they're certain that like something happened, and then just right beyond their eyes like something else kind of like happens. Right. This one dude and his whole family claimed that from 1 second to the next, a random wall in their house was built, and he goes, yeah, man, we all used to kick it. We all used to be in this area where everybody was just kind of hanging out or whatever. And for whatever reason, I'm getting home from school one day, and he's telling like his first person. I'm getting home from school one day, and I feel like something's off in the house, and I realize that there's this wall or whatever. It's kind of like akin to the Mandela effect, I guess. And he goes, there's this wall in an area that didn't used to be there. And at first, I thought I was insane because I was thinking, no, there's no way in hell that like a wall was randomly put up or whatever. It's probably always been that way until, and then he posts a picture of him and the rest of his family that are like, they're chilling. It was like a random picture that was taken, let's say, during like Thanksgiving, and this guy's standing in the kitchen or whatever, and that wall isn't there. It's kind of like moved off to the side. And so he goes, nobody built this wall. We never did any sort of construction. I tried bringing it up to my family members, and all my family members were like, you're right. I don't know why this is here. So they chose to break it, right? They break it and just send it off to the area that it was before. And when they did that, on the inside, it was like rot, like there was like rot on the inside, and they just got really scared that it had something to do with like paranormal kind of freaky stuff. But if you go in like our glitch in the Matrix, it's like a bunch of stories like that where people So yeah, that's my contribution.
I've heard of those before,
Yeah,
but I've
yeah.
heard of other ones that are more like I should have been dead, but like, I think it kind of falls into the same category where they're like, you know what I'm
I
talking
know,
about?
I know what you're talking, but okay, this is also I'm burning through topics, but this is again not one that I have a lot of not interest. I have a lot of interest in all of these, but it kind of connects to like I should be dead type stuff.
Yeah.
But check this out. I think you're gonna dig this. Also bringing it around to almost kind of bringing it back to the Children's Immortality Project, which I know you're fascinated by now. So you're on Reddit. I don't know if this profile is still up, but user AFH43. This guy apparently went insane, and you could see his spiral down into insanity on his post. But he was trying to figure out the science behind what he calls quantum universes or something like that. But his main theory, his main point that he was trying to contest here was that nobody ever really dies, but like every moment that you've had and I should have died or I almost died moment, you actually did. It's just your consciousness was transferred to the next universe over, and that's how it continues. So we've all died millions of times. We've just ended up somewhere else.
Simulation theory, my gay.
So this guy was just kind of going off, like he was going hard on that shit, and he just disappeared. Like he's gone.
He fucking pulled an OA. Just peace.
His profile's been inactive for a while now. I think like about a year, like a couple years now.
Damn.
But
what was it called again?
Username. So it's just /u/AFH43.
Let's see if I can pull it up.
What are the theories? Why it disappeared?
Well, since a lot of people said, I haven't looked that deep into it, but a lot of people saying like he kind of descended into madness a little bit. He was going crazy, like you could see it, and this on his post, they were just getting, consistently more eccentric, more incoherent. So the biggest theory is against suicide. That he just kind of went nuts. Because someone mentioned he mentioned a post saying that he just couldn't bear the weight of continuing this search any longer. So he took himself out.
Somebody just asked if we talk about Cicada 3301.
Oh, I want to devote a whole...
Sorry, I'm gonna...
I fucking told you.
I can talk about Cicada 3301.
Let's get into that one because I did like
hot minute.
Dope, because I went into it a second. Like, I saw the videos that were up there, the breakdown of what it was, like the whole like clues around the planet type of shit around the world or whatever. But like, what happened?
So shout out to the boy Gibbs for asking me to talk about Cicada 3301. So let's get into it. So Cicada 3301 is a series of 3 puzzles, 2 solved, 1 unsolved. The ones that were solved began as black images on 4 channels. There's a black image, white text, just in letting you know that a contest was going on and it's up to you to solve it, right? So a lot of people were like, well, give me more clues. What the fuck is this, right? But you had to run the black image through Photoshop and just kind of fuck with the filters a little bit, and then revealed a series of texts which led you to a hyperlink, would let you to other websites, and it's basically what it was. It was internet scavenger hunts, and at the end of it, if you got all the clues correctly, it would lead you to a physical location, like an actual place in the world, where there was a taped up piece of paper with an image of a cicada and a QR code. You scanned that QR code, you were considered a winner. A big part of the mystery is what happens when you win, or what happens when you solve the mystery of Cicada. So the first Cicada event happened. The winners are unknown somewhat. There's some people that claim to have been the people that won, and they told you
I
what.
know that there's some people that posted the picture of the thing to the web.
Yeah.
Of the QR code.
Of the QR code, yeah. So so that happened, right? A year later, it was announced there was going to be a second event. Same introduction, you know, just an image on 4chan. You went into it. A lot of people tried the same method to discover the first clue.
Yeah.
And followed the same path. There was a few more twists and turns, but again, it led you to another QR code, this time to more cities across the world. I believe Houston was one of them, actually. So the QR code was in Houston. So this is a global thing. The next year, which I believe was 2014, they put out their third puzzle, which has yet to be solved. So Cicada has remained dormant because nobody has solved the third Cicada puzzle. And this one is fucking crazy, you know. So a lot of the original Cicada puzzles were mainly internet based. This one is too, but it was mainly just, you know, coding, text files, reverse searching images, and blah, blah, blah. So this one started off the same way, but it led you to a book, an online book known as the Liber Primus, which could be either translated to the first book or the Book of Primes. Either one is still up for debate, which is the correct name and the correct interpretation of this translation, right? So once people found the book, Cicada, whoever they may be, sent out another very cryptic message basically saying the answers to the third puzzle hide within the Liber Primus. But it's written in such an uncrackable code that it's been 5 years now and nobody has solved it. You've got some of the world's best like crypto analysts and, you know, like military code breakers, world-renowned like world-renowned linguists too, because it's written in runes, like a combination of runes and Old English as well. So you have this fucking dense ass coded alphabet that nobody has been able to solve. So a couple clues pop up here and there, but you know, Cicada veterans are basically saying ignore them unless you get a specific messaging key at the bottom of the message. If you don't get that, if you don't have that key, it's not Cicada. And Cicada has pretty much been dormant for 5 years now, just waiting for it to get solved. But it's not only involving the Liber Primus and the runes and Old English. They're incorporating spectrograms. There's two audio files that form certain melodies. You know, people are like thinking like, oh, there's something in the chord structure. You know, like, oh, what kind of chord is it? Does the chord progression spell out anything? So this one just got
some Morse.
Yeah, some Morse. You know, anything like this. This one has gotten so fucking dense, and so it hasn't been solved still. But the people that have claimed to have won the previous two Cicada
challenges,
puzzles,
whatever, yeah,
claimed that when they scanned that QR code, they were added into a fortified group chat, like an underground dark web group chat, where Cicada made their supposed goals clear. What Cicada supposedly wants is that they want a truly free and open internet, so they were trying to find the best in their respective fields to try to come up with a completely untraceable, not sure what the word here is, like a completely untraceable network.
Yeah.
So that, you know, all internet communications can be free and uncensored and nothing can be traced. So they just make the internet just like a lawless wasteland
Wild, Wild
where
West shit.
anything can happen.
When I first started looking into it, my initial reaction was like, I think these motherfuckers are recruiting people for QAnon. I don't know why. That's just like what I thought automatically. And y'all know about QAnon, right?
Yeah. Well, we talked about it extensively on the last.
Oh yeah, that's true.
40F.
Yep.
If you weren't there, you won't hear it. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. We're not gonna go over it again. Fuck you. God damn, dude. Cicada 3301. That's weird. And
I'm gonna solve it, dude.
I wish I was that smart. That'd be great.
Yeah.
To be that level of just like,
I feel so fucking stupid because I follow the Reddit thread dedicated to Cicada, and I'm just hearing like all these fucking
terms,
all these people going like, well, this is
fucking nerds.
This is this kind of code, but at the same time, we're like, I ran it through this program where I created this fucking algorithm, and I've gotten nothing, and I'm just here like,
damn guy, that sounds crazy.
So a lot of people are involving, so now from what the last that I saw on the Cicada group is, people are like desperate for answers, right? So they're like, how about we turn to, symbolism and like philosophical interpretations of the Liber Primus. And it's just like, worth a shot, but is that really going to yield any results? So it's like, there are people saying like, oh, if you look at the bottom of this page, there's 3 dots that slightly resemble this constellation. I'm just like, cool, but have you solved any of the fucking runes though?
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, we haven't.
Fuck, man.
But positioned like the stars though. And it's
someone threw out earlier Disney conspiracies.
Kiana.
You got any?
You got any?
Anybody got any? I know some that are not necessarily
I know the thing
conspiracies.
about him being frozen. That's about it.
What I know about is like not Disney conspiracies, but Disney subliminal messages in all their movies.
Yeah. Well, that's well known though.
Yeah, like it's well documented.
That's well documented.
Pretty cool. We've been fucking subconsciously engineered to want sex and shit all the time. Thank you, Disney.
Pretty sure that's just.
I didn't watch any of the Disney movies, but still.
But you heard the music,
right? Maybe.
I think it's trippy. Like, I wonder. This is just real curiosity. Like, why would they put that in there? Like, honestly,
bored animators.
That's what a lot of them chalked it up to. I think a lot of the people were
the most famous story was the one about what was the name of that movie about those fucking mouse detectives?
Mouse Detectives
Coming to America. No, that's not it.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it, but that's the one that in a specific frame.
There's like a fucking
a naked
fat.
It's a naked woman like on the window of a building. And so the story behind that one goes that the animator that put that image in there, he did it because there was a challenge supposedly there was like a rumor or like a story going around that Walt Disney was such a fucking
the rescuers
like there was like the story going around that Walt Disney was such a fucking like
hashtag
OP,
me too.
And he was such an OP fucking animator that he could, even if you were speeding it up, he could still kind of catch shit frame by frame, no matter how fast you played it for him.
He had a shotting gun action, bro.
Yeah, he had a fucking animation shotting gun, right? So basically, it was like, oh, I'm gonna stick this nude in there, and I'm gonna play this like fucking fast, and see if Walt can catch it. And supposedly he did, and he told the animator to take it out, but he didn't, and he just left it in there. Or like certain copies of the movie have it in there, but re-release copies don't. But supposedly that's what it was. It was a challenge to see if Walt Disney really had the eyes that he claimed to have, and he did. He found the image right then and there. He was like, "Hey, I see it. Take it out."
Eagle eye.
That's funny.
You got the eye of the Jew, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. He was also a sexist and
a Nazi Nazi supporter or whatever.
Right.
Sympathizer.
Subscribe to Disney Plus, by the way.
Same. I did.
Same.
Actually.
What? No, so I found like all the pictures of the different things of like the Disney frame by frame.
You ever heard of
shots.
the? Oh, you know what? I just had this conversation not so long ago. You guys know what pareidolia is, right?
Pareidolia? No.
No, pareidolia.
No.
Pareidolia is the
Dolan? Like Dolan memes?
no. Pareidolia is the phenomenon, the psychological phenomena that happens when people see patterns when they're looking for them. So, say for example, dude, there's sex in every Disney movie. So now all of a sudden, people are looking and they see the word sex drawn out in the clouds or something, right? So they trace it with like a red marker and they're like, oh, this is, sex. Like things like that. There's a couple of instances of that, but like the example of like seeing the Virgin Mary on like a piece of toast or some shit like that, right? Like it's pareidolia is that like idea that if you're looking for something, you'll find something, yeah. So that was one of the things that I had mentioned. And it's funny. I have an interesting story. One of my friends, he shall remain nameless. I was going to say remain nameless. Anyway, the other day I was hanging out at my friend's place, and he mentions to me, he goes, "Hey, my phone got hacked." Now here's the thing: he has one of these really old phones.
Wait.
Hold on, can't tell the story.
No, I need you to back up because I was not paying attention.
Okay, pareidolia,
Yes.
right? The idea of seeing patterns all the time.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I had this conversation about pareidolia because of this particular instance. My friend, who is very, very careful about his privacy, well, I wouldn't say careful. He's got an email and an Instagram, so it's pretty much throwing out a lot of stuff that's private. He doesn't like having a cell phone on him because he feels like it can be tracked and stuff like that. So all these things that like certain things he's done to kind of protect himself and stuff like that. So all of his, like, for example, his cell phone, it's connected from like a cell phone company in Canada, right? And he pays it prepaid, right? And so it's not a number from anywhere around here or whatever. And anyway, so the thing that he said happened the other day was he was at home. He connected his phone to the AC charger, right? Regular AC/DC charger, whatever. He connected it, and as soon as he did that, he says his phone opened up its messaging app by itself, typed the number in, and started dialing. Typed the number in and started typing out a message. And as soon as he saw that happen, he started like deleting it, trying to like stop it from whatever the fuck it was doing. Right. Apparently, he caught it as it was happening to send him a message to a certain number, and when he deleted it or when he stopped it, he went and he checked his messages. Apparently, it had sent a message to his brother, and it said something like, it didn't say anything, but it had started like a draft, and it was just the letter P. Like it wasn't anything. It could have been like a butt dial, whatever. So he says that this happened all at the same time that he received an email from somebody at the Saudi Arabia Institute. It was like King Saud Institute or something. They had
Murdered.
it was like Keanu already had some. So anyway, the whole thing had happened. They had sent this message to him, and it said, "I hope this helps." And it's a thing on how to make like a compost or something. And it was something random, but he opened it up. It was a PDF file, and that PDF file, like it was meant to be sent to somebody else. Now he couldn't figure out all these things. I told him, I was like, first off, that's not how hacking works. Like you don't get hacked through current. Like you can't get hacked. I don't think there's a way to master electricity to force something to get hacked. Like you can't turn. It's the same way you can't turn like a fucking a light into like a microphone. That's not how shit works.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, then explain what happened. I was like, I can't explain your messaging app opening and typing something. What was the number? He goes, I can tell you the number because I tried calling it. So he shows me the number. We Google it. And it's the number for here in Laredo, and it was like some random like closed down art institute thing. You call it, the number's busy all the time, and so it's disconnected or something. So that was to him, it was really weird, and he was like really frustrated about it. And he said he's right now he's writing down all of his contacts, and because he doesn't upload it to a Google account or anything like that. Right now, his contacts, he's gonna fucking nuke the phone basically, because he feels that he's been hacked. But I don't know, man. The email was weird because it just said, "Hello, friend. I hope this helps. God bless." And he doesn't know where that, he doesn't know where it came from. He had no reason to have it like sent over to him, right? I kind of, I think, figured it out, right? Because let's just say, for example, your name, Josh Castillo, right? Let's say your email is josh.castillo@gmail.com, right? And I'm sending you an email, but I meant to send it to you, and I put, instead of josh.castillo, I just put joshcastillo@gmail.com, and I send it out, right? But you receive it still, even though yours is josh.castillo. I think what ended up happening was this guy sent an email that was meant for like josh.castillo, but BCC'd, joshcastillo@gmail.com or whatever. So that way it would send to both of y'all, and you would both receive your individual copy, and you wouldn't know that you put that in there or whatever the difference. So I think that's what happened. And that's why he got that email. And it just happened to be a coincidence that his phone started bugging out like out of nowhere. But according to him, he's been receiving a lot of strange calls, and he believes that there are people that are following him. And so, and this happened ever since he's been more public and out in public or whatever, because he's doing some stuff in, one of the art groups that I'm in and stuff like that. So he feels
right. Trippy. Do you get random phone calls from numbers?
Yeah, a lot of the time, and
Like
a lot of the time I
scam shit?
answer them and they hang up.
Same.
I use like the
but they're
Google
like
screening thing,
Uh-huh.
and so it screens the call, right? And it's like, hey, this is Google Assistant. You're calling whatever. What are you calling about? And then they just hang up.
Oh, what? You can do that?
Yeah, with
How?
the Pixel. Just
Oh, with just the Pixel?
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay.
Sorry.
No. Yeah, I get a couple of things like that. Whatever. I'm trying to think of something else. It's been a weird couple of days, dude. Lately, like the days. have just
Spoopy,
been
update me, dude.
All right, cool. So, are we getting close to wrapping or what? 'Cause I think
Yeah, I think so.
We're gonna hit this.
You got another one to lay on us, or you good?
I'm gonna save the rest of these.
Okay,
All right,
cool.
Yeah.
We'll have you on for another one, or your own thing, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
All right, spoopy update. Okay, cool. So this happened a while back.
It's a good one.
So it basically started like this. I had a very vivid dream about my grandmother, right? I'm gonna fast forward through all of that like stuff. It was shit. I actually forgot like the synchronicity part of it. Why did they say it was synchronicity?
Because of Kiana.
What about her?
You didn't have the dream. It started with you chilling at your house. And then
Oh, right. So yeah. So I was chilling at my place, and I had this really strange feeling. And I was just hanging out, and it was three people. It was Kiana, and it was me, Kiana, and my dad. I had this dream that I was like chilling out. I was sitting or whatever. It wasn't a dream. I was in my living room. So Kiana, when she sleeps relatively early because she has to go to work at a certain time the next day, or whatever. So I go and I sit down and I chill downstairs and I like play COD on my phone or something or whatever the fuck. I do something around that, and I just kick it there. Well, at this time that I was doing this, and I know she fucking hates these kind of conversations, so I don't mention these kind of things to her. But at this time that I was doing this, I just felt like this very weird presence. And one of the things that I had mentioned is I had been feeling that presence the whole day, like all of it. Like it just felt like something was up.
Just to provide a little bit more context into the setting, it's right around Halloween weekend / Dia de los Muertos.
Right. So that was the synchronicity part of it. Oh shit, yeah, this is after actually. So okay, Kiana and I go to Dia de los Muertos event, and we meet up with a couple. Well, we ran into a couple of friends at one of the events that was happening at Laredo Center of the Arts. When we were there, we were talking to him. I was I was standing. I was talking to this girl. Her name's Sonia. She's a super spiritual chick, and like you talk to her, and she's one of those people who I think like if you sit and you talk to them, like they're like special people. Like they've got like something about them, a different aura, And while we were sitting there, while we were like talking to them, we were talking about Robert Beatty, rest in peace, right? Because they were very close to him. They had lived in the same house with him, the real man, and all that stuff. So while we were standing there, we were talking to him. She mentioned to me, she's like, I don't know why I feel compelled to tell you this or whatever, but my dad, and I think it's just because like the Dia de los Muertos thing, like my dad used to always I was there with him while he was passing away, and while I was there while he was passing away, and like talking to him, one of the last things that he said was he's like, oh, when he was like when. I
saw, yeah.
She says, "Ooh, when I pass away, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna haunt you, so it's me, right? And I'm gonna fuck with you in the afterlife, whatever." Because he was just like that, like kind of joking around. So while he was while she's saying this story, she tells me she's like, I was walking down this area, and she's like, I was just getting home. And I was getting home with my boyfriend, and when I walk into this room and into this area or whatever, I hear right on my shoulder, right over my shoulder, "Hey, kitty," and it was my dad's voice, and it scared the shit out of me. And what fucked with me even more is that my boyfriend also heard the voice. So she's like telling me this, and I got chills, man. I was just like, oh, that's fucking weird. So we sat there, we stayed there like talking for a bit or whatever. And mind you, this is the other one of those. They had turned the fountains that were in the Radio Center of the Arts into altars, right? So I was just chilling there, and then like we were in the middle of talking, and out of nowhere I feel like a deliberate tap, and I turn and look at Kiana, and I'm like, what? And she's like, nothing. And then she like, I was like, you didn't tap me? She's like, no. So then I do it. Then we had moved like another area or whatever, and I do it again, right? Like I was standing there, and then I feel a tap, and I'm like, all right, well this time Kiana's in my view, so it couldn't have been her. And I'm like looking around, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then she's like, what? I was like, nothing. I felt like a super deliberate tap on my shoulder. So, fast forward next day. Remember, like here, like the other those spans across 3 days. I was chilling in the living room, and I was just like hanging out on my phone. I was like looking at something, drinking water or whatever, and I hear very clear. Well, first I heard the sound of what sounded like somebody dragging their feet, and one of the things that I always remember is that my grandmother, when she could walk, before she passed, she had both her legs amputated at some point because of diabetes. So when she could walk, she was walking, and she would always have like these slippers on, and she would just drag her feet. So I heard this sound just like shh, 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 and I was just like, I stood there for a second, and then I hear, "Me da mucho gusto en verte, mijo," just like that, like clear.
How fucking loud? Like
that
loud?
Clear
like
as
that loud?
day, dude.
Like that loud?
Like if so
like
here's,
if I said it like this, like "Me da mucho gusto verte."
Yeah, like that. Right, and it was like and it was like I'm standing there, and I'm like that sounded like my fucking grandmother, dude. And I was just standing there for a bit, and I had my glass of water, and I was just kind of like looking. I was standing in the kitchen, and I was looking over to my living room area because that's the area that it sounded like it came from, and I was just like, nah, fuck this, dude. Like, I'm out of it for today. So I set my fucking glass down, and I went upstairs and I fell asleep. When Kiana mentioned to me that she had a dream about her grandmother and something like that, whatever. So I just thought that was kind of like relevant, but it didn't really have anything to do. What was really weird was that my mom ends up calling me, and my mom calls me and tells me, she's like, "Oh, hey, when you get a chance, come over so we can go visit your grandmother's grave." And I was like, "Why are you saying that?" And she was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "It's been years. Like, why are you telling me that to do that now?" And she goes, "Why?" And I was like, "Well, because I had a dream about grandma. I felt like I heard her voice in my house, and I've just gotten that weird feeling or whatever, like as of late." And she goes, no me digas eso, Raj. Like, don't tell me that. Like, you're fucking with me, right? Like, so I was like, no, man. Like, why are you telling me this, right? And she goes, your dad woke up freaking out. And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, she woke up just losing his shit because apparently he was having a dream that his mom, you know, was my grandma, whatever, that he was telling me like that. She had a dream that grandma was telling him that he's very glad that that me and your dad are still together and that we're still, you know, trying to make the best of things, and that we raised good kids, and that we're, you know, that they're doing really well, and that, you know, que le da mucho gusto en verlos así, que todo está bien. And I was like, fuck you. don't say that kind of shit. She goes, no. And well, one of the things that she said is, she goes, oh yeah, but you still haven't, like, she told her in Spanish, right? She goes, you still haven't come to see me though. Like, you still haven't come to see me. My dad hasn't gone to visit the grave in a while because it did fuck with him. It fucked with him emotionally a lot. And as it would anybody, obviously, but like it was already a really tough time for us, and then plus when my grandmother passed away, it was just kind of added on there. So she tells me, she's like, yeah, and she says that your grandmother was telling your dad that, hey, why haven't you come to see me? Why haven't you come to see me? Like, me estás faltando de respeto, you know, tells her like that. And then she goes, and he talks to her in the dream, like he says something like, I don't have much time. I don't have much time to see you, whatever. He goes, okay, then I'll come see you. Told her some shit like that. And my dad was like, okay, you know, well, it was nice talking to you, or whatever. He goes, you know what, it was nice talking to you too, Miko, or whatever. Fell asleep. She says that he gets up, and when he gets up and he turns, that he sees the perfect silhouette of my grandmother standing at the doorway with like the kitchen light on, and it was like shining through. So he sees just standing in his doorway my grandmother, and that he like que le dio un susto, like he freaked out. And my mom was just telling me this, you know, that he got so scared. Raj woke me up. He's fucking screamed the way he was like that. I turn on the lamp immediately. I thought somebody was in the house, and he gets up and he starts looking around. And he just started saying like, Mama, ¿dónde estás? You know, like stuff like that. And then just like, you know, it scared the shit out of him. So sure enough,
That's
next time,
trippy,
yeah, dude. So
yeah,
it was
holy
like,
shit.
it was, you know, it was like that. Thankfully, I went and I was like, I'm gonna go pay my respects. And yeah, one of the times that Keanu went to work, I was just like, I'm gonna head across real quick, and I did. My mom picked me up and went over there, paid my respects, said hello, and then left a little like offering thing, whatever that you do, and then took off. And everything was chill. I'm super glad because I don't know, the first time when my grandmother passed away. So my grandmother passed away a few weeks before my first communion, and she was so excited that I was doing that because she was like really wanted me to, you know, kind of like follow that path and be, you know, a church man or whatever. And she was so excited about it. So I was actually really bummed out that she passed away right before my communion. It really, you know, I was super close to her. Like, I mean, we had our kind of like our spats here and there or whatever, but she basically helped raise me because whenever my mom would have to go to work, she would leave me at my grandmother's house, and my grandmother would, you know, just take care of me and stuff. And so she, but she was also very religious. So she passed away. She passed away like a couple weeks before my communion. And right before this happens, right before I go and I have my communion, literally like the night before or 2 nights before, I had gotten an argument with my mom because I was like, I don't want to wear that to the communion or whatever. It was like some random green striped thing, whatever. It just looked really weird. And I was like, I don't want to wear that. And I got an argument with her, whatever. I fell asleep. I woke up to go get water. And when I went to get water, she was in a wheelchair. Like I said, she had both of her legs amputated. When I went to go get water, I saw her in her fucking wheelchair in my living room. And I froze, dude. And I felt like I was going to fucking pass out. So like I didn't even stop. I didn't even go to get the water or anything like that. I like froze. And I turned around and like I ran to my room and I closed it, turned on the lights. And I just was like, yo, what the fuck, you know? And so I stood there for a second even more. Then I said, all right, there's no way in hell that actually was like going on. I was just tripping myself out. Maybe it's something else that was there that, maybe just not resembled my grandma, but maybe I just kind of, I saw something wrong, whatever, right? But when I went back and I scanned the place, whatever, there was nothing even remotely of the same shape or in that area that
like not even a wheelchair.
No, nothing. It was just empty space, dude. It was an area that we were actually going to clear out because we were gonna do something with that spot. We were gonna put like a new TV or something or whatever. So
right.
So it was just an empty space. So I was just like, okay, weird. I fell asleep. And when I fell asleep, I had a dream that because I never got the water, right? I never went to go get the water because it freaked me out.
Clearly.
When I fell asleep, I had a dream that my grandmother was sitting down on the couch right next to my bed. There's never a couch in my room, and she was talking to me, and she told me, "Oye, like vale más que no le contestes mal a tu mamá and this and that. Because it's going to be a very nice day for you, and this and that." She's basically lecturing me and telling me, "Hey, don't be a dick. Like, go and do your communion." And she goes, "Here, para tu sed." And she sits down with a glass of water. When I woke up, dude, I woke up at the regular time in the morning. It was like 7 or 8, getting ready for school. When I woke up and I turned and I looked, the fucking glass of water was on my nightstand and still cold, dude. That shit was sweating. And so I was just like, what the fuck? So then that, freaked me out. But then I was like, okay, grandma, I'll listen. And I went and did my communion. And when I did my communion, swear to God, the one that I believed at the time, when I went and did my communion, I saw my grandmother in the crowd. And I told my mom and my dad, and I was like, yeah, like, she was there, Dad. Like, I saw her clear as day. She says, where was she sitting? She sitting right next to Tia over here. And then he was like, nah, like, there was nobody even sitting there. And I was like, that's what I'm telling you. Saw her in the crowd when I was up there. Like, I went and I did the thing, and then I turned around and she was sitting there. And yeah, man. So that was weird. But that's a spoopy time update. That's all I got. Man.
Wholesome spoopy,
maybe. Yeah. Because it was that Dia de los Muertos, you do the whole offering kind of thing, and yeah.
There you guys have it.
There you do.
Damn, that was some crazy shit. Some interesting stories.
We had a badass show. We had a badass 40F, and we had a badass shout out because I saw him watching. Excuse me, Nicholas Whips. We had a badass bitches on the board. It was actually the booze and booze. At Boogaloo, it was pretty. I
don't know
dope.
why I keep calling it booze and brews.
Either way it works. It's kind of interchangeable, I think. But it was a badass thing. It was funny. Last night I had a Halloween show on Thursday at Electric Lounge. Nicholas Whips was also performing that one. And he tells me, he's like, hey, man, people still fucking telling me about the party, whatever was fucking that. So anybody who didn't go to the party that we were talking about again, you missed out for a second time. Second year. We'll do again next year, even bigger, see what's going on. But let's get the plugs in. Let's get the plugs, dude.
You'll be tomorrow in San Antonio or no?
No.
Yours is not until December.
Mine's not until December 4th. On December 4th, I will be competing in the Funniest Comic in Texas 2019. It's a competition for, it's a competition that gets put on by all of the improvs and plus LOL Comedy Club in San Antonio. So it's like, I think Addison Improv, the Houston Improv. I don't know the other, Dallas Improv, something like that.
I think so.
So and the Laugh Out Loud comedy club. So the Funniest Comic in Texas. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a spot at LOL Comedy Club in San Antonio on December 4th. I need all the support I can get. One of the things that, I mean, I guess kind of one of the gripes about these competitions is they pretty much tell you in the rules that you don't have to be funny to win. Just bring a shit ton of people, which kind of sucks, honestly. But I mean, if you can win a crowd, you can win a crowd, right? But I'm inviting all of my friends to come and support. I'm not telling you to come and vote for me exclusively, but I would like for you to come and check out the stuff. If you haven't already seen me in a show, I think I'm pretty funny, and I know a lot of other people think so too, and I would really like the chance to make you laugh. So if you can go and support me in San Antonio on December 4th, I'll be representing Laredo at the Laugh Out Loud Comedy Club in San Antonio. So I'll be making a flyer soon.
Yeah,
to do something for that. But
that is Wednesday, December the 4th.
Right.
And then 2 days after that, we have the final Fourth Dimension Fridays of the year. Fourth Dimension Fridays presents Killuminati. Or actually, what's it called now? Freaky Friday Alien thing?
Freaky Friday Alien stuff. Yeah. That's what they called it. But yeah. So
featuring Francisco Flores
What's
and
up?
Alex. What was his last name?
Salazar.
Legs, aka Legs. That's gonna be fun as fuck. Also, are you guys doing the mic drop?
Yeah, we're gonna
we're
have a
doing the
mic drop next Thursday.
Are you doing one on Thanksgiving?
No, not Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Of course
Okay.
not, bro. It's
Okay, I
Thanksgiving,
thought so
bro.
because I was like,
It's
what?
the day of the Lord, dude.
It's the day of Lord Turkey.
It's the day of the Lord Turkey. Gives says good luck. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. It's I mean, it's pretty much like if you apply to it, and they review your stuff and they select you, so long as you followed all the stuff, pretty much. So, but I'm still really honored to be representing Laredo. Franny, did you get anything back?
I haven't gotten anything.
Okay,
back,
good.
dude.
So we're hoping Franny's gonna get a response as well to maybe be that. Shout out to my boys. If you're already in San Antonio, you get a chance to go and support. Eric Parra and Aaron Suarez. They're also representing Laredo at the Funniest Comic in Texas competition, and they've got some fucking killers on their block, dude. So they're going to need all the support they can get. If you're in San Antonio, pull up to their show. Again, that's also Wednesday, November 20th. Is that the 20th?
Yeah, November 20th is
November
Wednesday, yes.
November 20th at the LOL Comedy Club. So, anything else? Keep an eye out for some more shows. Sorry we haven't been as consistent with this as we want to. We're just trying to get back into the swing of things. We're also going to be working on some stuff soon. Want to kind of ramp up just to kind of announce it, and so you guys are expecting it, and so we can light a fire under our asses and get it done too. We're working on maybe ramping up the merch stuff soon, getting a website going.
If you want the beanie I'm wearing, you can't have it. Sorry.
So we're be working on a couple of things.
Real quick, where the fuck's my shirt, Roger?
Oh, right. Last I saw it, Kiana washed it and then wore it. So
Nice.
I don't know. No. Just ask her for it, not me. It's hers. Just kidding. But yeah. So keep an eye out for Aliens of the Border merch. Keep an eye out for the mic drop merch, which is coming real soon. Actually,
Hell yeah.
keep supporting
that
us
shit.
in doing that open mic every week.
Keep an eye out for.
Keep an eye out for.
I don't know. That was basically
These
everything.
nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about everything, man.
That's about it. So thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. Tell your friends, like, share, subscribe.
And if you fuck with it came from the internet, it's gonna be a thing. So.
Yeah. Let us know what you thought about it came from the internet. Do
Send
you
your
want it?
submissions if you guys have any.
Yeah,
other
if you
issues.
got some submissions,
Comment
maybe
on
some
the video.
topics you
Talk
want to
about-
talk.
I'm down as fuck for it.
If you want this guy to go and search some drugs for you, since he has a Tor browser, feel free to let him know.
Silk Road 2.0, dog.
Right. So thanks. Peace.
Peace,
All right,
people.
peace.
It's a.